So the last thing to say about these techniques in jhana is that surprisingly Ramana Maharishi even dares to come up with certain stages of jhana. And I'm sure at other points he laughs at it, or sure Nisargadatta Maharaj would laugh at it, but it's still interesting to a little bit know. So Ramana says it all starts with the desire for enlightenment, or for happiness, for everlasting happiness. That's where it starts. As long as that is not there, then you're just not getting involved in something like this. So this is where it starts, and then the second step is famous vichara, the self-inquiry, both through contact with the teacher as through self-contemplation. And that then leads to the third step, which means to make the mind go quiet, one way or another. The vichara itself already brings it about if it is properly done. Other methods can also be used. Stopping mind, making mind transparent, you could also say. Making it again your tool, and put the tool aside. Then the fourth step which comes is called Sattvapati. Literally, Sattvapati means the ruler of Sattva. And Sattva is the most pure, most harmonious form of energy. It basically means that you are able to easily or even instantly reach the inner peace and bliss of the self. And this bliss, this ananda, is sattva. Ramana himself translates this as self-realization. So this is for him not the same thing as enlightenment. This is just the first step, and there are a total of 7 steps. But so it means that you have such a close contact to the self by using all these techniques that we were talking about, that you always have the choice to be happy, to be at peace. And while enlightenment may not be something that everybody can reach in this life, I have no idea, it's none of my business. But one thing I can say for sure, everybody who is willing to give it a bit of a try can reach Sattvapati, can have such good contact with the inside that whenever you want, whenever you feel the need, you can go there and recharge yourself with peace and happiness, and then again come out and, as I was explaining before, try to keep it in life also. And that's something new. That's something quite valuable. Most people really don't have a choice whether they feel happy or not. It's quite dependent on what happens to them. They think. The truth is, of course, that for them it is also like that. But to really have this self-confidence, this mastery, to be happy whenever you want, is Sattvapati, and makes life a lot more agreeable. At that point, enlightenment can wait. You are no longer in a hurry. And it's not like a big flash. That one day you are not, and the next day you are Sattvapati. It's not like that. It comes gradually, no? Gradually. Until gradually also, no, you never just lose this sattvic feeling. That is a true Sattvapati, of course. then you never lose it, whatever happens. And you don't need to go back and get it. Then it is there always. Then the fifth stage is non-attachment. So I'm not saying detachment, I'm saying non-attachment. By being in sattva for a really long time, then the attachment to anything else just drops away. You understand the game so well that, you just don't get caught anymore. Even not too nice things, Yeah. Then the sixth is called non-perception. There is no more perception. The eyes still see, the ears still hear. So the mind is also getting all that kind of information, but you are no longer having this information. You are no longer perceiving, you are completely centered inside. That is why many jhanis will say, well, yes, I know, this happens, that happens, and so on, but I barely notice. This is not in my world, I am not here. I may appear to be here, but I am not really here. And then only comes the seventh step after that, called Turiya, enlightenment, moksha. And there's a very, very tough concept, because you can ask, okay, who is then enlightened? The self obviously is not getting enlightened because he already is. And this body also will not become enlightened. And mind is not enlightened. Mind is just a monkey. And the intellect is not enlightened. This is just a encyclopedia. Then who gets enlightened? The ego. No, you can say that enlightenment means that the ego disappears. But then there's nobody there anymore to claim to be enlightened. So that is why if a person says, I am enlightened, that it's always a little doubtful, because who is he talking about? Other people, maybe they can say that person is enlightened, but then what are they talking about? They don't know anything about it. So enlightenment is a funny concept, and I have asked so many saints whether enlightenment is a permanent state or not. If you are enlightened, can you again fall? And this may now be a little coming as a surprise, but all of them, and I've asked at least 8 or 9 or something, all of them said, yes, of course, it is possible that an enlightened person again loses it. And if you look in the scriptures, like in the Yoga Vashist, which is very interesting also if you want to know about jhana yoga, then many stories are told about enlightened beings who somehow or other again get attached to something and again lose it. So that is quite an important little bit of information there. No, we are all already enlightened. No? And then becoming enlightened isn't really like a very clear concept, right? And it's not even permanent. No? So I mean, that should teach us something. That teaches us that enlightenment is a choice we can make here and now and always, and if needed, again and again. We are free.